Alright guys, so it's like 6 in the morning right now. I'm about to head up for cars and coffee. Gonna give the car a little quick wipe down right now, but if there's anything interesting going on down there, I'll film a couple clips of that. But as of right now, I am just trying to wake up. Alright guys, welcome back. So today is the day I'm actually getting this thing dyno tuned. I'm just waiting for the guy with the dyno to let me know that I gotta drive the car on over there, and then got HTE tuning on the line. He's ready to tune it once the dyno guy's ready, so that's what's going on today. Alright guys, so let me take you through what happened on the dyno day, and let me start off by saying this did really good actually. So I got 320 wheel horsepower, as you saw in the last clip, 250 torque, and this thing freaking rips on the road. I cannot wait to show you guys on like a GoPro, but anyways, it was a little bit of a headache. It took about 4 hours to get this thing to where it is now. Once I first put it on the dyno, it was making about 280 horsepower, and we're kind of stuck at that point until we figured out what the issue was. The issue was actually the wideband gauge that the dyno guy had. So we had it plumbed into the back of the exhaust where the tip is, and basically it was showing that it was running lean as hell. And then my dyno, or the tuner, was saying like there's no way it was that lean. So what we actually had to do was plumb it into one of the spare bungs that have into the header, thread the wideband gauge into there, and after we did that, we were getting a lot better reading on the air-fuel ratio, and we're able to tune accordingly after that. But the reason why I didn't get much footage at the dyno was I wasn't expecting this, but I was the one like driving the car onto the dyno. I was the one loading everything up. I was the one doing all the polls, so I was communicating with HTE on like what to do. Yeah, basically probably did about 10 polls in this thing, maybe even more, maybe 10 to 15 polls to get this thing dialed in right. So I was busy as hell. I couldn't really like film while communicating with HTE, while also communicating with the dyno guy, and running the car at the same time. So I apologize for that. But overall, you guys get the gist of what happened. Did a few polls, got the thing dialed in for 320, and that is with 91 octane. So if I was going to bump it up to like a 93 octane, HT was saying basically I'd probably be like 330 horsepower, 335 horsepower, but it is what it is. I mean, the car feels absolutely fast as hell. Like compared to the S52, this thing rips. So I'm more than happy with the 320. I was expecting like 330, 340 to be a little optimistic, but I mean, if I want to push any more power to this, supercharger is not in the equation. This is like the best NA motor in my opinion, so it's staying NA, but if I want to give it a little boost later down on the road, maybe do cams and bump up the octane rating a little bit on it, but other than that, I'm more than content with how this motor is set up right now. Alright, so I'd just like to speak on HT tuning. He's the absolute go for S54s, and I think he does other BMW motors, but basically, I don't know how the guy does it. He's the cheapest guy that will do alpha end tunes for the S54, so it was about 400 and some change for the whole thing. So starting out, I just got the bass tune on it, made sure everything was good on my end, no leaks, nothing like that. So after cruising around for 2 weeks, I was able to move forward with scheduling the dyno guy. I messed up on my end, and I didn't realize that Eastern time was 3 hours ahead of me. I thought it was 3 hours before for some reason, so what I did was scheduled the dyno guy in town for 8 o'clock at night, and then I also scheduled Hassan for, what would it be, like 5 o'clock his time. And basically I realized a couple hours before that Eastern time is ahead of us, so I'm like, fuck dude, like, probably not getting this in tune today. So I hit up HE Tuning, and he was like, okay, well just let me know when the dyno guy is ready for your car, and we'll get you set up. So luckily I was able to get on the dyno around like 6 o'clock my time, still a little late on Eastern time, but got on the dyno, went through some issues with it for a while, so I'm surprised Hassan was down with it, because by the time this thing was completely done and tuned, it was probably around like 1 a.m. his time. I think he closed his shop around 8. So thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for actually getting my car tuned that day, because that's insane. I don't think any other tuner would have worked past his operating hours essentially. So HT, absolute GOAT. So yeah, if you have an S54, definitely check into HT, because he's the GOAT for him. I was looking at other tuners before I found out about him, after I was doing like reviews and research about it, but I'm definitely glad I went the route I did on the tune. The thing feels great. Great linear power band on it. And the rev limiter is set to 8,300 RPMs, which is insane to hear. I'll insert a clip right here of what that sounds like. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers what happened last week, everything going on with the dyno and shit. Moving forward, I am working on painting the hood, because I am getting kind of sick of being hoodless. It is a little too look at me, for me personally. I like being subtle, but I also just want to see this thing completely like blacked out. Get the thing complete looking. Right now it looks a little incomplete in my opinion, but almost done with the hood. Got all this sanded down. I just got to finish this patch, flip it over, scruff up the underside, and then get that painted. So moving forward, I do want to get back to the Mark IV project, but I am going to chill for a little bit, try to pay off some debt, get caught back up on finances. And basically I just don't want to go the same energy on this as I did with that. So when I got started on this car, I had the energy like, okay, well, S54 swap, this should take me maybe 2 months, 3 months. So the whole time I was doing this, I just felt like I was running late, or I was like not on my schedule of what I wanted this thing to be done at. So I kind of went crazy. I spent every bit of money, every bit of time on this, and it almost became unenjoyable to a point. So moving forward, when I get back to this, I kind of just want to try to learn how to enjoy the process a little bit more, not spend every waking hour, every bit of money I have on it. So with that said, overall, it's not that far from being done. I need to fab up the charge pipes, build an exhaust for it, spark plug wires, those need to be custom made, whole cooling system, I don't have that yet, but not too big of a deal on that part. But the biggest thing that's holding me back on this project is the interior. So I don't have the whole trunk set up for the air ride yet. That's got to get built. I do have the management and all that shit, so all the expensive stuff, that's already taken care of. I do want to do like a rear seat delete, so I got to figure out how I want to do that. Cover up this whole section. build the cage. So I do have the hoop already made, so that's pretty much the hardest part. Seats, I already have a company in mind that I want to run. I'll reveal that later, but not cheap. That's probably the most expensive part of this build I have left over. Before I got into this, I was trying to do like a tablet display for all the gauges right here. So that's going to run off of the standalone ECU, and that's kind of where I lost motivation on this car, was making weird shit out of like carbon fiber, fiberglass, and all that weird custom shit. But that's kind of where this car is right now. So I got the door panels reupholstered, but overall the car is not that far from being done. I just got to try to find the motivation to get back onto it, because I am a little bit winded and exhausted after doing this. So all right, so I think that's enough of me blabbing for one video. As an introvert, I don't really like talking about myself or talking about my cars that much, for that matter. But I do prefer to do like more context-based shit, so like DIYs, or just kind of like filming what I am working on rather than me just talking about what I did. But moving forward, I do want to get the GoPro set up, get that mounted up in the windshield, or get like a little hat mount for it, so I could do POV driving videos, maybe do like a gap cam. I think that'd be cool. Could humble some people around town, I'm sure, but it's kind of all I got going on for today. So thanks for watching, guys. Till next time.